best days pass us by, and most long for a place that they never find. I'm afraid I wake up when I die, and it is too late to climb any mountain. Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. I will be the greatest that you've ever seen before, and I'll stay eternal. Run out when things don't go to plan. I kinda lose my mind. I hope it's real, this life comes around. Just keep your faith and search for the fountain. Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. Will be the greatest that you've ever seen before, and I'll stay eternal.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 15 of the FortcastZA. And yet again, we have a quite well-known guest, I can actually put it. We have Nicholas Holden from ACGL on our top left, as you can see him there, all pretty and whatnot. And then obviously Hachi on our right. Everyone knows him. Obviously, if you are from FortcastZA, he is the main guy there. Then at the two bottom guys, they just here to fill spots basically. But no, I'm joking. Bradley, welcome to the Fortcast, and Nate, for the first time on the FortcastZA. I think it's about time we got you on here. I was waiting for this moment to get you on, you and Dropsy, back in the day. But it is what it is. Finally, you are here. Oh, Dropsy sucks. Okay, cool. We're starting this off early already. But again, guys, that has busy tuning in, thank you very much for stopping by, and we're gonna get right into things. But before we do, just again, you saw that clip from Tint Formula. They sponsoring again the FortcastZA episode 15. I can see episode 14 is just still, but 15 it is. And a big announcement for that, for the period of the Fortcast going live. So from 7 o'clock until we are finished, you can grab yourself a tub of Tint Formula on tintformula.com, I think, or .co.za. Just go check it out, and you can get 25% off by using the code Dallas. Now it's the biggest percentages get off. Don't check it out. Check it. Nate, where's your tub? Nick. Nick. But okay, yeah, but okay, guys, 25% off if you use the code Dallas now over at Tint Formula. But Nick, we're gonna start off with you. You're actually one of the guys I wanted on way earlier in this episode, because Nick Holden is the guy that basically everyone knows, and ACGL is a very big name in the community. So it's actually very, very nice to have you on. no problem. I just want to see that I've got everything right on my. Is Hachi? Oh, okay. I just want to. Is it so? I just want to check. I just want to check here. Apparently, nothing is coming through from yours. Yeah. I see. That's exactly. Thank you. You guys can hear me, but I don't know why you can't hear the Discord. Let me actually do this. Properties. Property. Let me just see this.
The list is a bot.
Ah, there we go. Okay, listen, Yachi. Like, listen. We don't want to fight now, okay? Not yet.
Oh, so they heard that.
We'll come to the to the storm search, and then we can start, getting some jabs in. But Nick,
Keen.
coming to you. The first question I have for you that I actually want to talk about is the relationship between ACGL and the Fortnite community itself. One of your tweets that I've seen is where you asked the community, listen here, instead of, I think it was the box fights or something, you asked the community what would they prefer otherwise. What does it mean for ACGL and you specifically to have that relationship with the community?
Well, it's not just Fortnite, but it's all the titles. We really need to try and make sure that we're holding the hand in terms of the community where possible. I think it's something that we're also going to be taking some further steps in the coming weeks to be able to make sure that that is a little bit of a stronger relationship, just by basically having community members as direct conversation points for us. But I think it's always going to be important. At the end of the day, these players know more than we'll know as a tournament organization when it comes down to very, very refined specifics of the game, mechanics of the game. And it's always good to have a touchstone with the players to say, hey, what do we need to change from our side? What do you think can be improved? And I think we've had that conversation multiple times with the community and respective members as well. Even when it came down to the recent point system, I think we went around asking everybody, what would your best preferred point system be? What do you like? What don't you like? And it's something that, I mean, from our side of things, we've had point systems where people haven't agreed with it in the past.
Yeah.
And if we just leave it at that, that's kind of us not doing our due diligence in terms of for the community itself.
Yeah.
So we always need to make sure that, one, we're approachable, so the community feels that, you know what, if we're going to be speaking to ACGL, whether that's on our Discord support or contacting one of the members directly, that it's going to lead somewhere or it will be heard or listened to. And ultimately, number two is that without that, we're just going to be seen as an organization, and we're not that. Unfortunately, we're not an organization that gets massive funding. We're very much a base organization that started off, I mean, Hachi knows from my Call of Duty days, from being a player, and so do you, Dare. That's where the humble beginnings of tournament operating was for us, and we know that the player, in terms of the journey for us, is going to be 100% crucial because we were there as players.
Yes.
It's why I got into tournament organizing, because as console players, we were told that we have to play to PC rule sets. So it's always going to be important to basically be there for the players, because at the end of the day, their guiding hand will guide us and what we're also able to do from the operating side.
Yeah, it's always nice to see that. I think you and I had that little chat just before this, the hands in hand, when it comes to game developers and the community. That not going hand in hand with some games, but yeah, it is tough. But big ups for you guys at ACGL for always being in touch with the guys over on Fortnite. And then Nick, the next question that I want to ask you is, obviously with hand in hand with tournament organizers is the next step, or the biggest step is that of hosting a LAN. I just, from you, obviously a lot of people in this chat, in the stream, doesn't know what's the ins and outs, what happens, what needs to be done to host a LAN. Can you maybe just run us through to what is the ins and outs of hosting a LAN?
I think it's dependent on your environment. I think that's one of the key things that and also who you're working with at the start. I mean, in Joburg, you guys are very blessed. You guys have that Maverick Center, I believe, that a lot of tournaments get hosted at. Whereas from a Cape Town perspective, we always relied on MWeb to a certain degree. But when it goes into the much larger environments, it's the network cabling setup, it's the rental of the venue, it's making sure that there's enough seats for everybody, that there's food and drink, that there's health and safety. It's a very expensive exercise in comparison to what you would just do as a general online event, and therefore the costs kind of skyrocket. You need to have the mandatory people involved in terms of health and safety as well, that they're there and available. So you're paying people to be able to do that. It's not just all favors. It's not
Yeah.
something where you can just say, hey, you know what, I feel like arranging a LAN. Yes, you can maybe do that on a smaller scale, but as soon as you start to go bigger scale, and I think a lot of the reference points over the past few weeks has been that Afri Sports event. I think we always look back to that in a lot of
Yeah.
ways ourselves, of going, hey man, that was really cool for us. We want to be able to do that more. This year, we were actually going to be focusing on getting some more LAN events going off of our own back.
Yeah.
COVID,
But
that
yeah,
makes it a little bit more
COVID.
tricky.
Yeah.
But I think just the ins and outs of LANs, it's just a lot more work. You've got to have a lot more hands, which means that it's much more expensive. So it's either you try to go in there going, hey, will we get the backing here from the community to cover entries and cover prize pools? And I don't necessarily think that's the way. Unfortunately, it really becomes a task of us trying to get prize pools from sponsorships and trying to
Yeah.
get support from outside of there, which also is quite laborsome when it comes down to unproven environments, because you've got to go, hey, your reach of this event is going to be 100,000, 1 million, whatever it might be,
Yes.
in
Yes.
terms of a social demographic, and even what their return is going to be on that. And then you have to say, okay, what does it quantify in terms of monetary input that you're putting in? So that becomes a sales pitch that you need to be able to convert quite. You have to be quite thorough in that process. It's not
Yeah.
as easy as going, "Hey guys,
Yeah.
can you give us 100,000 rand to sponsor this event?"
Yes.
It really
Yeah.
becomes a process of going, "What are you going to get in return? What are you actually going to be able to do for your brand to grow with us?" But ultimately, it's even more important to say, why would you come back? Because you
Yeah.
don't want just one event, and that's kind of
Exactly.
what we try to do with Mythic. We don't want to just do 1 month. We want to do 5 months, and then actually have that as a period of time. So as a player, I know, okay, I can keep playing, I can keep winning, and slowly but surely get myself some money at the end of every month. Whereas when you're doing one event, it's fantastic to have that massive prize pool.
Yeah.
But once again, that's not necessarily where I think the key is in terms of developing the structures going forward. So
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes into event as the TLDR of that one.
Yeah, I think that that building the relationship with the people that you get involved with your lands, and getting that sponsorships and that the partnerships basically,
Yeah.
for your lands, and it's always better to maintain a lengthy partnership and not just one land as you mentioned. But in that you just said that the pay to entry fee.
Yeah.
You and I had a little chat about that quite a while ago,
Yeah.
about why it's not the best idea. Can you maybe just go a bit more into depth about why you don't think it's the pay to
I,
entry thing is not a good idea?
I think there's a little bit of a disconnect in South African esports when it comes down to hell. We started very, very privileged in a lot of ways of saying, here's esports, it's free to enter, come play, which is great in terms of lowering the barriers of entry. But as tournament operators, that puts a lot of pressure on you, because essentially what you're doing is going, hey, I want to get to a 5,000 rand prize pool. I need to make sure that I'm charging 100 people $50 for
Yeah.
them to be able to get there. And then the players go, ooh, as soon as this guy earns more money, I'm not going to be happy about that, which
Yeah.
is kind of bullshit, to be honest. And
It
I
is.
hate to use that language, but at the same time, it needs to be clear and transparent from the tournament organizer. I think one of the things that has always come into question is like prize pool asterisks, which I can understand why people are doing that, but it also becomes a deliverable of going, what is the risk versus reward there for players? And I don't know. From my side of things, it's not the best way to go about it, because I think some people are tripping over certain legal boundaries when it comes
Yes.
down to that. And I think it's something that, if more attention at one point was paid to our scene, that it could be very damaging, especially if you're not too sure how credible an organization is. And there are a lot of credible organizations out there that have been putting in the work and been doing it from a very community standpoint, which I love to see. I think it's really, really cool. Um, it's just you worry about the longevity of that, because that person's got bills to pay. They're hosting tournaments.
Yeah.
They're spending time in it, and are they getting return out of it? I think that becomes a very difficult question for people to answer.
Mm.
So that's why I kind of think relying on the player base, you can do that, but that's that's something that you need to do as a long-term thing. It's not the short-term benefit for hosting tournaments, because I think we've all seen tournaments that have pay to enter, how they have backfired in the past for players in terms of
Yeah,
prize payments, but also in terms of what that clarity is, because sometimes there's no clarity over what am I getting. I
yeah,
came
uh,
fourth. What am I getting out of
yeah.
this?
And
Um,
I do think,
which is not fair.
yeah, I just do think that you probably cut out some of the players. Some of them just won't sign up because there's an entry, and if they know, listen here, I'm not as good as, let's say, Hutchinator Bradley. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to
Yeah.
make the cash. Why must I enter? Why must I put my money up?
Yeah, and I think even in Fortnite, Fortnite's a bit nuanced in saying that it almost becomes more unfair for the guys trying to mount a comeback in game 4 and 5, because game 4 and 5, the people that are coming in 40th place aren't playing anymore. They're
Yeah.
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
Um, so that becomes a problem. I know this is might be sounding like a plug, but we've tried to alleviate the concept of everybody needs to win in the top end with what we introduced with the recent prizes of our mythic loot. So essentially, every match you play in Fortnite, you'll be earning a token, and you can put that into loot. Yes, it's for a random prize. There's some crazy prizes. I think there's a bundle there worth around about 11K. But no matter
sheesh,
what, if you're playing, you've got a way to be able to win.
yeah,
And even if you're not the best player, there's still a route to winning. I think that conversation point needs to happen a little bit more readily, because at the end of the day, we also need to make sure that this is widespread as possible in terms of being a welcoming scene.
yeah,
Um, I mean, people can look at the likes of these players that are with us here in the chat today and be like, damn, I want to be as good as Goga, B, Hachi, and Nate. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they need to be able to have enough intrigue and reward built into that of going, oh, I'm climbing up the ladder, I am progressing, oh, I want a headset, or I
yeah,
want a controller, or there's a way for me to win and get my 5 seconds of fame if it's that,
yeah,
which is something again that maybe I'll allude to a bit later, which we're trying to do a little bit more of as well. But I think
yeah,
it's a thing from the whole community, is that you guys need to give us the feedback, and we're going to touch point one here of
yeah.
how we can also do that a bit better, because once again, if you're putting it all on the tournament operator's shoulders, that's a bit much as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. But one thing that obviously eludes us right now is the the Fortnite South African service that everyone has been speaking about, and we may be getting it. Do you really think?
Tough.
Obviously, you're a guy in the higher ups, I could put it, in the South African scene, not just Fortnite, but everywhere else. Do you actually think it's a possibility for us to get these servers?
Okay, so I think the missing point that we've had is that having a conversation with Epic has been difficult. And I think we can do as much research that we want from our side of things, but until we start to get direct word from people in Epic, recognizing our scene and seeing what a growth potential is, from my side of things, I don't like to do it on a public face of going, hey, we're going on socials talking about what we're doing in terms of having a conversation with Epic. That being said, that is being done from our side, and we're trying to push that to say, hey, we've had tournaments since, what was it, 2018?
Yeah,
This is how many
quite a
tournaments
while
we've
ago.
had. This is how
Yeah.
many player base that we've had in terms of uniques. This is how we've seen growth. And that's the way to approach it from there, because they need to see it from a business perspective as well, right? So they
Yeah.
need to go, why are we investing in this, and who's going to support that in the long run? So the short answer there for me is I hope I hope we'll get servers. I don't have clarity on whether we will. We've got the infrastructure now that we need to be able to make that happen. Ultimately, it's about just trying to drive that conversation to the right decision makers, and
Mm.
we're trying. I can't say if we're going to hit a tick mark or a big X at the end of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm hopeful,
Hopefully.
man.
Yeah.
I'm
Uh,
always hopeful. I
uh,
wouldn't be in this industry if I wasn't hopeful.
exactly that, and a difficult industry in that.
Mm.
Another thing is that one of the questions I given you is if these servers do not come along, do you think the longevity of Fortnite ZA is gonna keep growing and maybe turn out like for me the biggest scene in ZA is CS:GO at this stage, I think. Do you think that Fortnite is maybe going at the right direction to be that game in the community?
I think it's going to receive a massive bolster. I mean, like the fact that if we had to get servers, it would change the game in terms of a lot of people actually rushing back to it. I think just to be able to give it a bash again to see what it's like on lower latency. I think from where it's going as a scene, it's probably one of the biggest scenes in South Africa, Fortnite,
Yeah,
100%.
I agree 100%.
Um, The biggest thing is it needs a little bit of continuity in terms of its growth and highlighting that. So it needs much more functional points for people to be able to enter it, and it also needs to still hit the public scene a little bit more. And people need to see those opportunities, and that once again is something that relates to servers. So I think the growth potential for Fortnite is absolutely massive, and I think it's something that already has a very strong audience for sponsorship, and that's how we've gotten sponsorship. Is saying we've got a strong audience here. We have people that want to be able to engage and participate. Hopefully that translates to more live stream views, but ultimately, I think it can be, to be honest, bigger than CS:GO's on a little bit of decline. To be honest, I'm not too sure if that's just because there's so many titles in the water at the moment that people are playing Warzone, Valorant. But I still think that title also has some legs. It's just Fortnite. I believe it's got a future that's very. I mean, look at the amount of tournaments this game gets. I mean, wasn't there a 100,000 rand tournament announced the other day as well?
The school cup.
Yeah, so there's unique
Only full of
opportunities
school
hitting
kids.
Fortnite. Yeah, school kids.
Unlucky, actually.
Much like the console tournaments of old, remember? The only one?
Yeah,
You gotta
it's the
take
biggest tournaments in South Africa. Always, I guess, don't
restricted.
include
I know
a
that's
huge part of the community.
I think that's also we can veer off into a completely different discussion with brands and why they need to learn about why it's important to open those doors. But once again, that just depends on the people having the conversation. I just think there's massive potential for Fortnite, and maybe I'll leave it there.
Yeah, hand in hand with why I think the Fortnite ZA community is so incredible is due for the fact that you have Hachi, Bradley, and Nate. They stream almost every single day. You have Luca streaming every single day. You have Don streaming every single day. So there's content being pushed out. And even if those people, the non-live streamers, they still have edits going out. They still have montages going out. And I think it's one of the best communities that put out content. I don't see it in CSGO. I see it from TOs, yes. But that's basically, that comes with the job, putting out the content. But from Fortnite, it's incredible to see.
No, it is good, and I think that's something that needs to be stimulated and supported a little bit more. Is that well done to all the guys actually putting out content? I know it's a grind, and sometimes it's a turning on camera and go, okay, personality, let's go. I've got to bring that energy into my stream, and I know that can be a grind sometime, and it's even mentally draining. So big shout out to all of these guys actually doing that and actually having some fun with it as well. So props to the Fortnite community.
Yeah, you guys are doing an excellent job. But Nick, I'm going to leave you there for now. We'll get back to you a bit later on.
Cool.
And we're going to move along to the guy in the bottom right-hand side corner. It's his first time, as I mentioned. It's little Saint Nate, or the big Saint Nate. He's 17 now, so he's getting quite old down there. Nate, first question to you is obviously your first time here, so I want you to tell us more about yourself. Who is Saint Nate?
My name is obviously you know my name, Nathan. I'm 16. Known as Nate, or say Nate in the community. I play Fortnite. Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's Nathaniel. Why are you saying Nate? Nathan. It's Nathaniel.
No, it's not. It's Nathan.
Okay.
All right. If you say so.
Wow. Okay. It's Nathan. Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you. I play Fortnite for the Punishers Pro League team, and I'm a gamer. I just play a lot of games.
And
mostly Fortnite though.
Yeah, mostly Fortnite. But where did gaming start for you? Were you a console pleb like most of us?
Yes, I was a console player.
Oh, do you play PlayStation, Xbox?
No, PlayStation, Xbox, no, never.
No, what did you play then?
What?
Just PlayStation?
Yeah, I don't like Xbox.
Okay, you
won Rancho, so PlayStation, that answers your question?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, made a shit ton of money, and that's why he has the setup he has now, so that's basically it.
Should have got a lower desk though.
Okay, bro.
Oh my god! Wow, yeah. A booster chair. But Nate, let's talk about your journey in Fortnite. Where did things start with Fortnite? What org did you join? I know you were in EGSA, and then nothing for a while, and then.
So
I'll explain.
When I started Fortnite in season 2, and then I think in season 5 I got offered by this Impulsive Red. I don't know if you know that, but back then, and then in season 5, I went to my first competition, won 5K, came second place, and then from there I just started playing comp.
I think after you bagged all the money at Rancho, taking everything Nick had to offer, more orgs came to you and say, "Listen here, come join us." And I think it was quite nice to see you and your long lost duo. That was little
Dropsy.
Yeah. So you left him behind. Shame. I really feel sorry for him.
Never left him behind.
Okay, if you say so. Nate, you took a long break from Fortnite a couple months ago, and you went over to Rust. What was this break really needed for you? Why did you take this break?
Okay, so I took the break because I was getting demotivated of the game. Back then, I was like, because they were adding new things, and I was getting bored of the game, and I didn't want to quit, so I took like a 3-month break, I think, and so I think the break was needed.
But this break didn't. When you came back, wasn't it difficult for you to start up a trio team?
Well, when I came back, it was before trios.
Then it was still
I took
solos,
a break before this season and last season. Well, I started the season before Shark, the first chapter 1.
Okay.
I took a break there, and I got back into like chapter 1, season 2. I came back.
So many chapters and so many seasons, you don't know what is what.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know.
I don't know. They just call it 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Just give it.
Well, one season 13, aren't we?
Yeah. Yes. Season 3, chapter 1, and it ended out. Season 10.
Fortnite's about to be older than Nate.
Exactly. Nate, are you gonna take that? It's okay. You can get him back on the Storm Search questions. We can get him back there. Nate, then one thing that Dropsy, I don't know why I've got his name in my head now, but Gogaby can get involved here now with this one, is both of your parents is quite involved in your gaming career. Obviously, with Team Punishers, Gogaby, your dad, Nate, your mom is involved with Team, or the co-owners of Team Punishers. How does it, for you, is it nice having your parents having so much, how can I say, involvement in your gaming career?
Gogaby, you want to start?
Yeah, I would say it's really nice. Just because I know like a lot of people have their parents that don't support them at all, like chasing them to get off their games. My dad's telling me, get on the game, start practicing. So, like,
Same.
Yeah.
It's lacquer. Like, so, I mean, and I love gaming. So it's nice to see that your parents support you, even though like a lot of parents don't really like gaming.
Yeah.
It shows me that no matter what I do, my dad will always support me, which is cool. So
Nate, and same side there, same thing for you?
Yeah, basically. So my mom, like, what she does all the admin. So she like registers me for tournaments. Like, she has my Discord on her computer, and then she just registers me for tournaments and stuff like that. So she asks me, do you want to play this? And I'll say yes or no, and
All right.
And she balances school out for me.
That's where my next question comes. Where is that line between, okay, yo, get on to game, and yo, get off, you need to do homework?
Okay, so if I have school, she'll want me to like get off early, obviously. And so like if I come home, she only will let me play if I'm done my homework, or even if I got. And if I don't have, I just play as soon as I get home. But if I have, I do my homework and stuff, and then she lets me play until like 10, and then she says I must get off.
Same thing for you, Bradley? Let me ask your schedule. Obviously, school a bit different there on your side, but what's your schedule? Just basically sleep your ass off, come on and stream.
Gogaby, that's for you.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. Right now, I'm not working, doing anything. Literally, sleep, tournament, stream,
repeat.
Exercise.
Exercise, repeat.
Yeah.
You need to get in that exercise. You don't want to, weigh as much as I do. So I'll just leave it there. But next question then to you, Mr. Nate, is you started, when you took that break and you came back, you didn't stream as much as you do now. Why, with the streaming, what motivated you to come back and stream again?
Okay, so I've always wanted to stream, but with my PC, like my frames, whenever I used to stream, it used to be like really bad.
Yeah.
And then I got help from my dad and mom to upgrade my PC. And they upgraded my PC, and they really like watching me play, so they asked me to stream again, and then I started streaming again.
So they basically the motivation for you to stream. Do they tell you sometimes, yo, put this?
Like my dad
start streaming?
sometimes will ask me, please will you stream today? And then I'll say, okay, fine, I'll stream.
All right, and Gogaby, you're streaming. I know you a very late night streamer. I actually enjoy your horror streams. It makes me shit myself sometimes, but I really do like it. Yeah, how's your streaming schedule?
So with the Middle East trios, every morning I stream the trio Middle East tournaments, and then I try in the evenings to stream like different games other than Fortnite, just so I have like a variety. So my audience isn't only just Fortnite viewers. So yeah, that's basically it.
I'll touch
every day as much as possible.
So I'll touch on that a bit later on about what's streaming and why, and we'll leave it there. We'll come back to that later. But Nate, we're still going to stick with you, and I'm going to ask you about your trio team, or the trio team that used to be. It was you, Glubs, and Ronan. I don't know if it's still that. I think you told me it was not. Why didn't it work out, and what you're looking for now?
So me and Gloves are obviously duo partners. We did really well like for duos, and we decided to like stay in the same trio together. And then with Ronan, our chemistry wasn't like there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So we're trying with other people now.
And what exactly are you looking for as the third person?
Like I'm looking for like a controller player.
Are they still OP that you're looking for controller players?
Well, they're not OP, but they're still good.
All right, they're still good, but you specify still a controller player, so maybe there. Last question then for you, Nate, and the question is, what do you think is your chances on placing in the cash for School Cup?
Well, lately I've been doing like quite well in solos.
Yeah.
So I think like 60%. Maybe.
Exact 60%. What is when you get on in the morning, or you probably sleep past the morning, but the question, when you get on, what is your routine before you actually go into a tournament?
I literally just get on, then like shower, do everything, brush my teeth, whatever, then get on, then just practice, like warm up.
Yeah, but
creative for a little bit.
Oh, you're creative, and then?
Yeah, and then like if I still have time, we maybe play arena trios, and then, or if it's a solo, obviously I'll play arena solo, warm up, and then when the thing comes, I play.
Yeah. All right, Nate, we'll get back to you a bit later on. We're going to move on to Gogaby and then Hachi, and then we'll get everyone involved again for the rest of the chats. But Gogaby, last time I had you on, I think it was last year sometime. It was quite a while ago. Please explain to us all, what has your journey been since the last time you've been on? I think the last time you've been on, you were on EGSA, if I'm correct.
I was an AG. Yeah, I think I just joined AG when I was the last one.
So explain to us your journey until now.
I mean, nothing's really changed except for like moving trios, duos, orgs. I left AG on good terms.
Yeah.
And I just decided to be a free agent for a while and just do my own thing. And then obviously I started doing with Hachi, and yeah, it hasn't been any like anything exciting, to be honest. Just chilling, doing nothing.
But so how is it to play? How is it to play with Hachi? Is he a cost? Does he bring his part? Huge cost.
Like sometimes he forgets to turn on his aim assist, and then
Hachi had those days on quad too.
Honest here. Answer honestly. Come on.
I'm being honest. What?
Okay, buddy.
Yeah. No, Hachi's actually very good. He's flipping good with his game sets, which is good. Right. So he just tells me what to do and I do it.
Okay, so he's your IGL, is basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically.
Okay. We spoke about your content and your streams, and I mentioned the horror games and whatnot that you play. a lot of streamers, Hutchin, you can maybe pitch in here as well. A lot of streamers that originate from Fortnite, that are Fortnite streamers, only stream Fortnite. Do you think it's difficult for those Fortnite streamers to get into different games and stream those too?
I don't think it's difficult for them to get in, but I do think it's, if you want to be like a proper streamer, it's like the right way to go about things, because like I don't want a situation where I'm streaming and then I don't know, the game dies or something, everyone just stops playing, and then I lose all my viewers as well, and then I have to rebuild my channel. So I think being a variety streamer is very important. If you just looking to play the game competitively and you just stream a Fortnite tournament now and then, and you don't really want to be a streamer, then I mean, yeah, go for it. Just stream Fortnite. But if you want to be a content creator, you need to be streaming, I think, different games, because sooner or later people start watching you for you, not the game you're playing. So yeah,
I think it's exactly that. But sometimes actually, don't you get tired of, let's say you want to play something else, but everyone in your stream is just there to watch Fortnite?
Yeah, it definitely happens. It is difficult. I know I used to stream CSGO, and in the beginning, a lot of people hated it. I jumped from like 20 viewers on Fortnite to like 3 as soon as I'd put on CSGO. Chat would die, and I'll just be like playing with my friends and whatever, and no one really cared to watch. And people would come in and be like, "Where's Fortnite?" I'll be like, "Sorry, man, I'll play Fortnite later," and they'll disappear and come back later, type of thing. So it takes some getting used to as a streamer as well. Just trying to get yourself to not worry about it and know that, you know, the viewers will come, they'll get used to it. It's just a different game that they're not used to seeing. So it will happen eventually. So you just need to grind past like the down stages of your viewership, and just remember that in the long run you'll find like a different audience that's gonna, like as Brad said, care about you for you and not the game you're playing.
I think that's the goal, or the biggest goal that you guys do work for. Then Gogaby, you and your trio consists of Hachi and who's the third?
Bojo.
And Bojo. You, one of your tweets, I think it was last weekend's game, that you mentioned you guys start off so slow but then clutch up at the end. Why do you think you guys start off slow? What do you think what's the factor there that maybe not gelling well?
My personal opinion, I think it's because we care too much. So like when we start off, we play it very safe, and like I don't mind playing it safe and passive and stuff, but I feel like we do it a bit too much. Like after we've passed like the last or the first 3 games, then we're literally sitting there doing terribly, and we're like, okay, well, we may as well just have fun. Let's just play our hearts out, you know, WK everyone. Let's just, you know, we stopped caring, and then we managed to win and, like, I don't know, clutch it back up and just qualify for everything. So I think that's personally the problem that we have.
Actually, do you agree?
Yeah. I do, and I think a lot of this goes with the fact that, like, I don't know, when it's a new tournament, you think to yourself, yeah, you can't choke this. You need to have good games. Like, you know, let's focus up. You're too scared to take fights because you're scared if you die, you've thrown your first game, the rest of the tournament is going to go horribly. So then you just tell yourself and your team, like, guys, let's play slow. Let's, you know, get a few points up there, you know, take it easy. And then if we're down, we'll start pushing ourselves harder and harder. And then we end up just taking it so slow, avoiding fights, even if it's like a 2v3 situation, we'll be like playing very back and scared, you know. So, and then at the end of it, when we have nothing to lose and we're like in 20th place, we end up winning the game with like 12 kills. And then we're like, why can't we just play like that from now on? So we're going to practice, I guess, treating South Africa as a daily trios cup instead of like, oh, this is South Africa, there's so many good players here, like, because we are good players too. So we need to stop acting as if we're terrible players that need to hide in bushes.
Yeah, indeed. So then to you, Gogaby, again, what was the motivation behind creating the Team Punishers? How did things start? Who approached who? And just how did things start with Team Punishers?
So, from what I think or how it started, my dad always wanted to create his own like gaming team since me and Nate played our first tournament together back in 2018. He's always
Yeah.
told me like he wants to make his own gaming team, and I was always like, yeah, it's so much effort, and
Yeah.
I'll rather just join a team. It's already like up there. Everything's like sorted already. And then like I joined like a couple of teams and I did not enjoy it. Like, well, I enjoyed some bits, but I started like it just wasn't for me. Like being in these other teams and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's when I left AG. That's when my dad, I think, had the idea to like, okay, let's actually go with this and see what happens. And then that's when he started speaking to Isabel. They made like the decision to go ahead with the Punishers, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's I think basically how it started. I had nothing to do with it. My dad's always wanted to do it.
All right. So it was
So, yeah.
solely.
I guess
solely...
I have a different take on this.
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, so I know the whole Gogadad story. He's always wanted to start like an esports organization. Every time he'll see like an esports team messing around or not having serious players, he'd always say, if I was to do this, I would do it right. He used to tell Brad and I all the time. I would make sure, we have like treat our players right, do it properly. Like this team so and so is messing around, man. They don't understand like what's going on. I tell you, when I start a team, it's gonna do well. He always used to say he wants to start like a South African FaZe clan, and that's what he feels with this whole Punishers thing. Our motto is, if your dream's not big enough, then it doesn't scare you. I mean, so if your dream is doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. So then the team basically started with ACGL Mythic Royale, the squads tournament that was coming up. Brad and Nate were a duo. Fury was their friend, and they needed a fourth person. So they wanted a fourth person to play Mythic squads with them. So they already had the 3, and they needed one more. So then I came back from Botswana around that time, and I started playing and doing well in tournaments with my internet. I knew Brad already. Brad's dad knew like my reputation and all from gaming, and he was like, give this guy a shot, like try play with Hachi, you guys can do well together. So then we played, we were like, okay, let's make it a thing where we play duos with everyone, because it was a duo season at the time. So one tournament I'll play with Brad, next tournament let me play with like Nate, next tournament let me play with Fury, so we all gel with each other type of thing. So then Brad and I played a tournament together and we started doing well, and that's how Brad and I became duos. And I guess that's how Punishers was formed, because now we had 4 people that really love playing with each other and we're doing well. And then we're like, okay, well, let's call it the Punishers. And it was just like our name for ACGL. And then Brad's dad was just like, okay, like I want to make this into an org.
Yeah, the one, it was only supposed to be an ACGL team, now that I remember.
Okay.
And then the one morning I woke up and my dad made a website, and there it is. And I was like,
this ACGL team is going to go very far.
Literally. Yeah.
Who created the logo? I must say the logo is really creative. Actually, I don't know.
We hit up a designer. What's his name? Hold on. We went through a lot of ideas. Those of you who don't know in stream, Izzy is actually like a designer. She dabbles in Photoshop. So she was doing like a lot of our logos. She was doing designs for websites. They were really good. And then I was just like, let me try hit up one of these designers I know from like Call of Duty and let's see what happens. So we threw in a few concepts and we basically got it done. I really want to get this designer's name. It was Nick Studios.
Nick Studios. All right.
Yeah.
No,
he did it.
He definitely did a good job. It's something very creative, and I think a lot of orgs can definitely look in rebranding and some of these stuff. But actually, we'll stick with you, and we're going to talk about your transition to, I think, one of the biggest Fortnite. I want to say Fortnite, but I think one of the biggest Twitch streamers. I would say when you still were in 80K and even before 80K. And a while after, I want to ask you, why did you stop streaming over on Twitch? Just seeing that you were quite big in your following on Twitch.
So I've always wanted to move to YouTube. I went on Twitch because when you get into like the gaming scene and you think of streaming, the first platform you think of is Twitch, because that's where like the biggest streamers were. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a Twitch streamer, and that's what I did. So since Twitch doesn't have server support in South Africa, it's really hard to have consistent bitrate to Twitch Europe and stuff. So at the time, with my slow internet already in Botswana, I was already struggling to stream to Twitch. So I would do like streams from like midnight going to like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to like be in the YouTube scene. When I saw like the Lucas, the Dons doing well, that's when I realized the FortcastZA scene is on YouTube. That's
Yeah.
my only reason, to be honest. Like
Okay.
when it comes to the international viewership, I was doing really well on Twitch. I
Yeah, you
loved
have.
Twitch.
Yeah.
But then I saw like the
norm
streamers from
is
South Africa
YouTube.
doing really well on YouTube. Yeah, all the
Yeah.
viewership from FortcastZA was
Was
literally
on.
YouTube.
And
So I was like, okay, yeah. So I already had like a YouTube channel because I used to stream on YouTube
Yeah.
when I was on PS4. So I've always thought about going to YouTube. But the biggest reason I finally decided to make the switch was because from Cape Town, having 1 gig line in my house, it was amazing. I could stream to both platforms. I didn't
Yeah.
care. And then when I came back to Botswana, here I am on my crappy internet again. I was like, I'm sick of this. You know, it's not working. Twitch is failing. Every time I started a stream, 5 minutes later, it will crash. So I was like, is my internet really that bad? I'm getting like 10 upload speed. Like, why is it crashing? Then I did a YouTube stream one day. Everything was solid. And then now I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, I think it's also the main reason the Fortcast started out on Twitch and then made its way over to YouTube. So I get what you're saying about the norm of the streams being for FortcastZA being on YouTube. And we can clearly see that. I think the only one that really still does Twitch is Drogon's. But he gets what, up to 10 words, 10 and over.
That's the thing. Like a lot of people don't even know Trogans are streaming.
Exactly.
And it's such a mission to go over to Twitch if it's not the platform you use. Everyone uses YouTube. You're telling me you don't use YouTube. So that's already like your home platform. And now you want to go onto Twitch. It's very different. And it also takes a lot. Like Twitch has encoding issues, you know, you need to worry about like your bitrate being low so then South Africans can work because you don't have quality options. You won't get an encoder unless you restart your stream like 10 times. Like it's very irritating. YouTube, I think it's very like user friendly, especially for South Africans with bad internet.
Yeah, I do agree. But before I ask you the next question, again to the chat, to all 84 of you currently, if you want to have your say, I think I still have the text to speech on. So if you want to have your say, it will be read out and I can read it out for you. I think it is $2 and then it reads out automatically. So if you really want to have that read out, you are more than welcome to do so. But back to you, Archie. One of your tweets earlier, and I think Nick commented to it, is that we should try and get tournaments over on Middle Eastern servers. And Nick, I think you said something there in the regards of playing on a different or hosting a tournament on a different server. What is the ins and outs in that? And actually, other than the ping, what will the Middle Eastern servers bring us more?
Yeah. Nick, you want to shoot first?
Go for it. I know you've been playing on the server, so I don't feel like I've got my right to be able to comment on the playing part of it. So I'll comment on the tournament operations after you.
Okay. So when I tweeted that, I didn't tweet that as a serious thing, like, hey guys, let's start a discussion around this. I'm serious, like every TO must change right now. And I feel 90% of the people that saw that got a bit aggressive and thought I was like, they took it to heart basically. Like I had responses like, oh, you're gonna buy people exit lag. Oh, Cape Tonians have 180, Joburg people have like 90 ping. You know, it's nonsense. Like, how dare you even suggest this? I'm just like, whoa, guys, like back off me. You know, I'll tell you the reason why I tweeted. The reason I tweeted was because, firstly, to EU, I get 200 ping. So it's really tough playing against Cape Town people at like 160, 140, even Joburg people 170. So the difference between 170 and 200 is so much in regards to mechanics, holding walls. Like it's really terrible. It's such like a skill cap for a player like myself. So when I play Middle East and I get 125 to maximum 150 ping, it feels amazing. I'm a different player. And I know a lot of people out there as well, even people from Joburg, they play insanely like different, insanely well compared to how they do on EU servers. So I'm thinking to myself, right, if everyone plays so much better on this Middle East low ping, imagine if the whole FortcastZA could do this. Our skill gap would be so much better. And would be getting better practice because of it. Our mechanics would be so much faster. We're able to do like better like quicker things, better things, you know, stuff that we couldn't do on higher ping. So to me, having the skill ceiling go even higher, people will start playing better, so people will get better, so people will learn faster, you know, then we can sort of compete like kind of like how overseas people do, triple edit, all these fancy things, right? So obviously I know it's not going to be a thing, guys. Like let's be real. Not a lot of people like are gonna buy Exelag. 100% understand. No, it doesn't work for everyone. So I understand if you get like 400 people, and let's say only 60 of them actually have Exelag, it's not going to be a proper thing. The ZA scene is already small. I'm not trying to make it any smaller. It was just a suggestion. I would love to see how I fare against people on my pick. That's literally all it was.
And Nick, from a TO's perspective?
I think TO's perspective is you always just want to keep the door to entry in terms of any esports title as wide as possible, right? You want to make sure that if there's a bunch of fish that are funneling in, that you're going to try get as many fish as possible. And by adding more restrictions, you're just making the player pool a little bit less. I think we've also, I mean, Hachi and Delray, from a competitive standpoint, we've had this conversation about Call of Duty in the past. Of, hey, they had to buy maps, which cost like 80 Rand to 150 Rand to be able to play. So what you're doing is essentially you're alienating anybody from the competitive environment that can't afford to play it. So now they can't play competitive. And as a tournament operator, it's all about numbers. Once again, if we revert back to the previous thing of saying, how do we convince sponsors to be able to get on board with this? Numbers. So if there's less numbers, less sponsorship, less future. So I guess that's the summary of that.
Yeah, 100% true what you're saying there. Also, something that everyone has brought up, I think I was one specific person that reached out and was banned, I think, from using a VPN. And he posted it out on Twitter, and Fortnite or Epic Games got back to him and say it's a bannable offense using a VPN. Do you think it's quite ridiculous just or saying that from this perspective, just saying that we don't have service, so obviously people will be investing into VPNs?
To my knowledge, Tino, I think it was Tino that outed this person that said he got banned for VPN. He basically said, to his knowledge, he hasn't seen anyone that has been banned for using a VPN. And he looked at this dude's email, and what Epic Games identified as what got him banned was a certain folder or thing in his PC that he had downloaded that is basically cheats. I think Storm was there as well. Apparently it's like CSGO cheats or something that this guy was
GTA
using.
or something.
Or GTA cheats or something. So that's why Epic Games banned him, and he tried to frame it on, I guess, maybe he didn't try to frame it. Maybe he thought the reason was because of his VPN. And then he later on said, oh no, apparently it was my brother that downloaded some file that I didn't even know it was on my computer. So we don't know what's going on there. But then there was actually an email. I don't know if this was true or not, but there was an email that someone tweeted saying he emailed Epic Games asking about a VPN, and Epic Games responded to him and said, no, it's actually not allowed. So Epic Games did, if it's true, Epic Games did say it's not allowed to use it. I think it's in TOS. But then a VPN like ExpressVPN, I could understand because that actually changes like where you're from, you know, whatever. But it's not like a game VPN such as Exelag. Exelag doesn't change your VPN. It doesn't allow you to log in to Epic Games saying you're from Europe, but you're not. It still shows your region is South Africa or wherever you're from. It's just routing you better in game. That's literally all it is. Even the pros use it, such as Mongrel and that. So if the pros are using Exelag, it's endorsed by the pros. No one I've seen has gotten banned, or anyone on Twitter is seen getting banned. I don't think it's a bannable offense.
No, I get what you're saying.
Or it's just not that serious that Epic is taking action.
Of it. Yeah, I guess Storms did say in chat the kid got banned because of GTA, so it just backs up what you just said there. Then another last one before we get into more of a collective chat between everyone about Fortnite itself is we had the conversation, or you had the conversation on Twitter with someone saying that, or someone did tweet out saying, if an org hosts a tournament, the org's players should not take part in that tournament. as he sees it, maybe as there can be unfairness when it comes to down to certain points. And then obviously, I didn't read your reply, but we can get your reply here. Is, do you actually think that orgs, if they enter the TO scene and are hosting an event, should their players not take part?
Yeah, I can't remember what I said to that tweet. But how I feel responding to that is, listen, the whole point of an org trying to donate to a TO or something for them to host a tournament is because they want players in the scene to get opportunity to win money and keep the scene growing. So restricting your own players sort of goes against your own, I guess, morals,
Yeah,
because you're trying to get as many people in the scene to support and all, and people don't, now you're not allowed to even play in that. So now what would, let's say for instance of the Punishers, because they do that a lot. Now is the Punishers even going to want to donate now if their own players like can't even play?
yeah,
That wouldn't even be a thing. I would understand if, for instance, there was some complaints that Cos Hyping was playing in the Cosign Cup.
yeah.
That's different because he's running the Discord, he's running the actual tournament.
Yeah,
I feel like there could be, you know, a lot of people complaining about it because he's in the game, he doesn't care win or lose, he's running the tournament, he's profiting from the entry fee, if he is. I don't know what the percentage took was, if he even took any.
yeah,
Don't put words into my mouth here,
yeah,
but I'm just saying he's playing in a tournament, so he doesn't care win or lose.
yeah,
Versus if it was a Punisher sponsored prize pool and a Punisher's player is, you know, in the tournament, there's no special treatment. They're not the ones hosting it. They just
Yeah.
donated, let's say, 5,000 Rand
and
to EPS. EPS is the one actually hosting.
Yeah.
EPS isn't playing. Aero is not playing. So I don't see a fault there. I understand a lot of the small guys would love to have a tournament where there's no bravado, there's no ATK, there's no this,
Yeah.
you know, so it would be easier for that. But then I don't think stopping TO's players from playing is the right way to handle it, you know?
Can I weigh in there just from a
Go for
TO
it.
perspective?
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
biggest thing that people make a little bit of a fault of when it comes down to hosting tournaments is that if it's been done by a third party, then you're fine. If it's been done internally from the organization, you need to also look at in terms of future proofing this. So, hey, if I do an event, is it just for the community? Then so be it. It's a community-run tournament. That's fine. But if it's something that they want to be able to take seriously, think of in terms of clarity. I used to own an organization that Hal Hutchie actually was a part of at one point. High Five.
High five.
Yeah.
And I left that organization so I could host tournaments. And you need to kind of remove yourself from those situations entirely, so you can make sure
Yeah.
that the question doesn't even get laid against you. So take for example, I was still in High Five. Let's just use this as an example. That I'm hosting a tournament now, and this team is in there. As soon as that team gets a dispute, no matter how High Five might be correct, by me ruling in for High Five's favor, regardless of them being correct, it can substantiate what might be an intrinsic bias, or somebody
Yeah.
can realistically point a finger at them and say there's some kind of bias there because they've got a decision to be able to hold. So when it goes to a third party organization to be able to host these things for organizations, there shouldn't necessarily be a problem with that. But also, I don't necessarily advise it being branded as an XYZ tournament, because I think that's kind of defeating the purpose of you saying why you're doing this. You can say, we're trying to push that brand in terms of the tournament as opposed to trying to build the community. So it's just a very fine line sometimes that you need to dot yourself between. But as far as hosting tournaments and having the team playing in them, I don't feel that that's really fair, to be honest, especially for those who have stuck their heads out in the past and removed themselves from this disassociation of organization and what is happening within the team.
Yeah.
If it's an exhibition tournament, it's a bit different, because then cool, we're playing to try beat.
Yeah.
Say if Bravado are hosting their own tournament or whatever, okay, I'll
Yeah.
play in the Bravado tournament so I can qualify to play against Bravado.
Yeah.
Cool, that's a different discussion, because then it's an exhibition. But if they're making the decisions that ultimately can benefit or retract or ban or remove, you've got what we deem as a conflict of interest at that point. So yeah,
Fine line.
sorry.
I did a
Just
fine
thought I'd
line
weigh in
between
there.
between things.
Yeah,
between
that's why the
hosting-
Punishers doesn't host tournaments.
Yeah.
They, I guess, donate to a TO,
To a
then the
TO,
TO
yeah.
hosts it.
Yeah.
So it might say
on-
EPS X Punishers, but that doesn't mean the Punishers is running it.
Exactly.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
But where it's like I said, Cosign Hyping running it
Yeah.
and he's playing in it, that's kind of, yeah, I could
And
see
the
why
last,
people complain.
the thing is that tournament organizer then needs to also have the clarity of saying, whatever I rule is my
Is
decision.
final, yeah.
Because
Mhm.
I don't like the last thing I want to hear, and I've had this before. If somebody sponsored, I think once again Call of Duty prize pool, and then we banned them in the first round because they didn't do what they needed to do.
Yeah.
they literally sponsored the prize pool, one of the individuals in the team, and they weren't there on time, or they didn't select the map, or whatever it was. They forfeited their match, and they said, "Well, this is nonsense. Like, how dare you?" And it's like,
Yeah.
"Well, you didn't apply to the rules, my friend. That's how
Exactly.
that works."
Yeah.
So. It needs to be done with the restraint of going, cool, I'm going to hand this over as a sponsor, but at that point, that's your baby to
Yeah.
handle. I'm out.
Not
Whatever
getting
decision you
involved.
make, I have to be fine with.
Indeed, sir. Indeed, sir. Definitely. But now let's get into the more of a wider perspective at chatting about the Fortnite scene, and I'm going to mention the mythic drop and mythic everything to do with mythic, including the tournament of Mythic Royale.
Wow.
But first thing first, let's talk about that charged shotgun. And Hachi Bradley, Nate, yes, where you guys come in again collectively is after having to play with the charged shotgun now for quite a couple of weeks, almost a month now. Do you think we see the weapon in more people's hands now? Is it more lethal?
Definitely. In the beginning, no one was used to like hold and release like type of shooting. Now there's way more people using the charge shotgun than like the tax, because they also reduced I think the headshot multiplier. So
Yeah.
the tac now is basically useless. So I think most people have gotten used to using the charge shotgun. So yeah.
Nate, and for you, would you still prefer using the tac?
No, because my attacks, I swear, they all only do 20. Not basic. And charge shotgun, you don't even have to charge it for long. You hit a guy like 100 in the body,
Yeah.
and then you're already at advantage to kill him. So.
Was it a big adaptment to adapt to Hachi to use the charge shotgun? Obviously, very different to other shotguns we used to.
Yeah, the hardest part about the charge shotgun, for some reason, if you're a controller player, you can probably relate here. When you charge the pump fully and you try like aim at anyone or jump, it's like there's no aim assist. So every time I full charge my pump, I can't hit a shot. So that's the part.
Okay.
That's the part that took time and practice. If I'm
Yeah.
holding a charge shot and you come close to me, hitting that shot is very hard compared to if I aimed in and I shot. So to me, I prefer the normal pump. Like, please bring back the normal pump so I
Yeah.
can hit people 200.
And exactly
And I
now, the question here then is, do you prefer the meta now towards it was with the pump?
No, I don't like it because a lot of bad players can literally just sit in a box, wait for you to edit, and oh yeah, because they're just full charging the pump because they don't know how to play. So yeah.
It
And
makes it
they-
a lot
yeah.
slower, like the pace of the game, which I hate.
So the pace of the game, has it significantly changed? Slower now with this charge shotgun?
Yeah. I just hate I honestly just hate how people can just hold a charge, and even though you have the upper hand, you kind of get scared and have to play slow so you don't get hit for insane amount of damage just because they got the charge and you don't have the charge because you're the one peeking.
And a great charge can hit you 180 in the head if it's fully charged.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
let's go even further back and then think about double pumps. Do you think
I would love that.
Do you think even that meta is better than what it is now?
No, I take now over that meta, to be honest, because double pump was very ping related. So you could swap between the pumps faster and shoot faster if your ping was lower. So nah, I'd rather have the charge.
Back then, I didn't really care about ping.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you basically have a massive line, so I think you're also you're also very
I was
privileged.
playing on 220 ping. My pumps was
Yeah.
basically shooting like a single pump.
No, but let's talk about the ping, and we're going to talk about Cape Town players and all the Joburg players saying Cape Town players are blessed and they're OP because of their ping. Is it really that big of a difference?
Yes. I felt it, Dare.
Well, for
I
you,
felt the
that you in
power.
Botswana, isn't it a massive
We
difference?
felt the power
No,
as well.
Dare, you don't understand. Like the fact that I can play ME and when I hit 150 ping, I still feel insane.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a different person when I'm playing it. It feels like I'm cheating. because I can't do half the things I can do. I can't take half the fights I can. Like, and the fact that I'm playing 150, it feels amazing.
Yeah.
I play a ZA tournament, I'm playing like 200. I'm watching like Travis or someone play on like 150. Yeah, I'm picturing that could be me, like insane skill.
Yeah.
I've gone from Botswana to Joburg to Cape Town. I've experienced it all. And Cape Town ping, it's cheating.
It's cheating.
It's cheating. This is why I said Middle East, because then Cape Town players can feel the pain.
So my question is then, if we had Neymar, and we take Neymar out of Joburg and we put him Cape Town, is he going to be unstoppable or more unstoppable?
Yes.
You'll be a lot better, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. All right.
Also, just the confidence that you have playing on lower ping. Like, if you know, like, or if you're playing and you like, wow, this ping feels great. Like, it instantly boosts your confidence. And when you're going into a fight and you're confident, like, odds of you losing that is very slim. So
Yeah.
also the confidence does help with the lower ping. So
All right. Then more about the mythical weapons. One thing that is also very OP that has returned is that that grenade launcher, and a lot of
Shockwave,
and a lot of people say, listen, that thing is OP as hell. Do you guys agree with it? What different aspect does it bring to the game that it's back?
Nate, you can start. You quiet?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know. Just that gun is just way too OP. Should get nerfed somehow, because like you can, like, if you're on height without it, and they're on low ground, they can easily shockwave up and then shockwave you into zone. You dead, and then they just take height like that. And if they run out of mats, they can like do the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it basically the same thing as having those impulse grenades?
Impulse
shockwaves.
were different
Or the
because
shockwaves.
you couldn't go through builds.
No, you could.
You
The
could,
shockwaves
yeah.
you could.
No,
Yeah.
shockwaves.
Shockwaves, yeah.
Yeah, the problem with this one is because with shockwave grenades, it's not like rockets, because rockets you can have like 18, like you know. So the fact that you can have that many with shockwaves, I think you could only carry 6 last season, the last time it was out, and with that it's also really slower to shockwave up and then have to throw one. This thing literally shoots it, you know, as fast as a bullet, and it lands like right there next to you, and you can't even react to it. Versus like shockwave, I don't know if people just weren't doing it back then, but it was much slower to throw down.
Yeah,
So
it was.
you can't. I don't know. It's so unfair, honestly.
It's also very game changing. Like, your team could be sitting in a metal box, like on a mountain.
The best spot ever,
The best spot ever. The guy at work, for example, goes flying up and just one bump you.
Play the club.
And it's the whole game ruined. Like, so yeah, it's very game changing. That's what I hate about it.
It is indeed, and we'll talk about where that flippant thing spawns. We can talk about carry, and I want to know from you guys: is carry so OP that it needs to be removed?
I wouldn't say it's OP. It's only shockwave that's OP. Like
the shotgun's good, but like
but the loot that you get from there, it's like
not even. People only go there for the shockwave. The vault doesn't. I don't know. Like, if we're talking like OP spots, Fortilla has more loot out its vault than Catty does.
Yeah.
The only reason is Fortilla gives you a chug jug and a burst. You know that. What can you do with a chug jug? You can't take height with it. The shockwave literally just shoots you so far into the air. If the shockwave got nerfed or even disappeared, people wouldn't even be landing caddy that are like great players. People would just go for authority grappler and then something else.
Yeah, just for the reason bringing that up is, I think everyone has been fighting to drop caddy, and I think eventually Scurro and them took over it and said basically, listen, that's my drop. But everyone basically has fighted to the bone just to drop caddy, and I thought that was worth mentioning because everyone, I don't know, it's just that one weapon that basically everyone wants, and it's only there that thing drops, right?
The thing is, caddy's loot is so small that it's only worth it for the shockwave. Authority. If you think of authority, take mythic weapons out the game. The place with the best loot is authority. That thing has so many henchman chests. It has henchmen that you can kill that drop like that OP burst that reloads so quickly. You know, there's just so much loot. It has much more loot in the vault. It's insane. The loot
Yeah.
there is just so much better. Where Catty, the only thing you get is a guaranteed launch pad, the shockwave, which is very OP, and then there's not even that many chests at the spawn.
Yeah.
So teams wouldn't even go there. Like good teams wouldn't even go there if it wasn't for that thing.
Yeah, indeed. So, now back to where we spoke about service, but we're going to talk more about the FNCS tournaments that get held on Brazilian service, Middle East, and EU, because I think that's the main three that we do play now. And my question is, for those three, do we really, or do the players really try to? Where do you get the best ping? Middle Eastern, correct?
Yeah.
And then it's EU, and then it's Brazilian.
I
No,
think
it's
Brazil's better
Brazil
actually.
then.
Brazil, then EU.
What are you getting in Brazil, if I may ask?
160, 150 for me.
And are you using exit
Yeah,
lag
so-
for that, or are you just playing straight?
Yeah,
Like,
excellent.
without exit lag, I think like
Go to
300,
400.
400.
Holy. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's a
yeah.
massive
With
difference.
exit lag, I get 320. So
Oh,
That's very interesting,
that's
right?
massive. Okay.
yeah, Nick. People play ME, then they play the EU Cup, and then they wait till
Yeah,
midnight, and then they
for
play Brazil
Brazilian.
Cup. So
No,
the grind is real out here.
Yeah, like with the streams, it's crazy. I know Trogon streams till geez, the sun comes up and he's still streaming those Brazilian servers, and it's
I
quite
heard Trogans gets like 170 even to NA.
Yeah.
So he's playing every region.
yeah, he's playing.
I wish we had exit lag back when it was Winter Royale. We'd be winning so much money.
Yeah, no, indeed. So, but my question for those servers is, do we see? I don't think. I do think it's the top players that maybe just play all three regions. But do you think the South African players, all our local players, should be looking into playing all three of those servers?
It's very dependent on, I think, your ISP. So if you have low ping, obviously, to all of them, and you want to grind, then go for it. Like,
Yeah.
but I know a lot of players can't because their IP or ISP doesn't allow it, and they get high ping. So
Yeah. It like basically all depends on your routing out of South Africa. Because the reason people started using ExpressVPN was because even if they had a horrible routing out of South Africa and they couldn't get good ping on ME, now ExpressVPN, they use ExpressVPN to route into South Africa still. And then that is what they use to now go to ME.
There is no rule that basically says that if you're not from Brazilian, you may not play on the Brazilian servers.
No, there isn't.
No.
Okay, so there's nothing capping you basically. Well, if you want to play NA, you can basically play NA, but obviously with
Yeah, the only cap is I think FNCS, where if you play one region, you can't play the other. Where these daily cups, you can play any region you want.
Okay.
So yeah, I think some tournaments, if you choose a region, you can't go and do the other. You have to stick to that region.
Yeah, indeed. We spoke about the Middle Eastern and the Cape Town OP ping compared to Joburg. Now the question is, we mentioned that we want to play tournaments on Middle Eastern, or maybe try something like that. But then wouldn't this then be turned over for Joburg guys having better ping than Cape Townians? Because obviously the Joburg guys have better ping.
I think it would actually be kind of worse. Because like sometimes in game on Middle East, I get like 110 ping on Middle East.
Yeah, same.
And I think the lowest that the Cape Town players get on EU is like 140
Yeah.
in game.
No, I think Clink also gets like 120 sometimes. I think.
Well, that's like one player though. Like
Yeah. But
there's like a couple of players that get like 110, 120 ping.
but
Yeah.
but the question is then, wouldn't it be OP for Joburg players compared to Cape Town?
The problem is the gap. The problem is people complain about the gap because 140, let's say on EU, it's
Yeah.
140 versus 170, 180.
Yeah.
That's like 30, 40 ping gap. If they're getting, let's say, because some people get like 180. I think people are saying Travis gets 180. So let's say 170 is the norm for Cape Town.
Yeah.
And Joburg, the norm will be like, I guess 120. There's a higher ping gap than it is. So it would be nice to see Cape Town players fill the wrath, but
Yeah. Feel
Fortunately,
that. Hey,
can't.
you were part of these Cape Townians. So
Yeah, but I don't even know every place I stayed at besides Noob Slice's house, I was getting 160. Noob
Yeah.
Slice's house, I was getting 120. So I know you guys out there that exist with your 120s.
You cheaters.
But yeah, I was getting 160, 170 even though I was in Cape Town.
Yeah. Then we're gonna bring up one community question, and then we're gonna talk about the upcoming tournaments. I've got 3 of them, and then we'll go over to the Storm Search questions for Archie, Bradley, and Nate. But the first and last community question that comes in from Ruan the Boss, RTB Sports, Ruan _ the Boss, is for the players. What do you do when you hit the Fortnite wall? The point where you hate the game and don't want to play anymore. And Nate, I'm going to start with you for this one. When do you hit the Fortnite wall? In what
Nate
state?
took a break.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's just when you get demotivated on the game, I guess.
I'll mention if when I'm watching Lucas stream, he gets really pissed off sometimes, and then he says, this game's shit. I don't want to play this game anymore." But he keeps going, and tomorrow he's back again.
Yeah, that's the heat of the moment.
Yeah,
It's addicting though as well.
It was-
Luca's mentality shift is from YouTube to Twitch. That's how Luca handles it.
That
He
is
said,
my-
"Screw this
yeah.
game. I'll see you on Twitch."
Yeah,
And then he goes
exactly.
to Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm done on YouTube. I've got pissed off. I'm going to Twitch.
Because he doesn't swear on YouTube.
Ooh, Luca.
He doesn't. Yeah.
No, he streams on
really-
YouTube, and then at night he goes over to Twitch.
Yeah, so he can swear.
So I guess we.
That's it.
Okay. I don't know if that was the reason, but actually,
No, it's not the reason, but
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
for you actually, when do you know you've hit that wall?
At the moment, I don't know because for me, if I hit a wall, I just switch to ME servers and I'm back to being the best in the game.
Okay. It's,
For real, that's literally
Yeah.
it. If I play a ZA tournament, I get frustrated. I switch to ME and I feel like a god again. No, but like honestly, I have the luxury of, I guess, a person in my life that like lets me know it's okay to fail and to
Yeah.
keep going and keep
It's a pleasure,
reminding me.
Yeah.
And like Nick's that person at LAN, but unfortunately
Yeah.
we don't
Oh,
have those
damn it.
anymore. But yeah, so it's just nice having someone, I guess, reassure you that like it's all good to
Yeah.
fail. Just keep
You're welcome.
trying and keep going.
And Bradley, do you have that someone
yeah.
backing you up and saying, okay?
Pardon?
Do you
No,
have
I
that
don't.
that special someone saying, okay, yo, it's
I
okay?
did fight you. He doesn't do it for me though. So
Excuse me, how many times am I like, guys, it's fine. You guys are literally the best.
no, fact, Tachi is actually that person. So
So,
Tachi.
there you have your
Oh,
But it's
question,
actually
Mr.
joking.
Ruan. Then we're going to quickly go through the tournaments that are up and coming. The first one here from Mega Gaming on the 8th of August. It is Arena Trios, $150 a person. 80% of the prize pool gets distributed to all the players. Obviously, depending on where you place, and that's the first one that you need to check out. So write that down. Then second tournament that everyone has been speaking about, and that's obviously the School Cup, an online School Cup this time around. 22nd of August is the first qualification that you can play for this upcoming School Cup. And just mentioning the School Cup, Hachi, Nate, Bradley, and the chat, I want to get you involved here. In the rules, it states it's not going to be played on Arena. It is solos, but it's not being played on Arena. We've seen this tournament, or such a tournament not being played on Arena, went to shit. Do you guys think this is something that needs to be changed ASAP?
I think
Nate?
so.
Who's talking to me?
Go.
Yeah, I was
Bro,
starting
Nate. Always with you, Nate.
What? Me?
Always you.
I don't know. I think it's just like RNG must have like the best white teal. I think it's quite dumb. I think it should move to Arena so you can get siphon and mats per kill and stuff like that. Like if they host it in normal pubs,
Yeah.
like you just have to always have a whole inventory of floppers to win the game.
I just think it brings a different side of, you're going to have to change everything basically that you played for the whole year is going to be, you have to flip it around because of the settings of normal solos. Bradley, are you still eligible to play the School Cup? I think it's 19 years and lower.
Is it?
Yeah, 19 and lower.
Is it an age limit,
Yeah,
or
I
is it
mean,
you have to be?
it's
in
Oh,
totally
well, in the rules it states 19 and lower. So,
So
19, I'm not in school, but
I know I spoke to Storm, and Storm told me, listen, on the page it says 19 and lower, so maybe you can still play. I don't know, but I think we can definitely look in that. But if Mega Game is listening up, we need somehow to change that to arena, because I can already tell you playing normal solos is not the way. Another tournament that is up and coming is the Fortnite Solo Zone Wars, Wednesday the 29th of July. That's in 3 days from now, I think it is. Yeah, cash prizes to be won by eGaming SA. So go have a look over there if you want to get signed up and play some of those games. But we're going to come into the Storm Search questions now.
Sure. You don't even mention the ACTL tournament. Well, I'm on this podcast, man. I'm leaving now.
Hey, we spoke about the Mythic enough. Everyone knows Mythic. We're dropping Mythic already. We're playing Mythic already.
Lekker, man.
But
Last opportunity to register, by the way, just on Monday.
Yeah.
So to apply for entry, we'll do the draw for that. Obviously, we've got 2 custom qualifiers that we do per month for that. So I'm just sorry, I'm stealing. I'm jumping straight in.
You need to. You need to.
I'm doing that. Swarm here, man. Don't worry, that's
He wants to hashtag ad.
So last chance to apply, Oaks, if you want to be able to get in there. And then also there'll be a very, very cool surprise for you that tune into the live stream. I might as well drop that now, is that it looks like we'll have the spectator mode available for that one. So that's quite special. So let's go, boys. That's actually absolutely massive. I think we'll be the first TO in South Africa to have that. I think.
Nick, I could kiss you in
that's
this Discord.
So now you guys I don't have to watch your terrible live streams. Where just I can have a high quality live stream and watch different people, and I can even see if people are being dodgy on the map.
Calls out
Yeah.
messages
So-
from Nick saying thank you so much for catching up so I can have an entertaining stream.
Hey, so yeah, the cool
Yeah.
thing is now all the pressure's off of you. You don't have to worry about what your face looks like on stream. That's purely up to the casters, and
Yeah.
we'll be able to actually make sure that from a broadcast standpoint that we can put the POV on you guys. So that's quite
You
good.
guys, ACGL on top, honestly.
yeah,
This is
it-
insane.
it's
This
ba-
opens up everything. Because I think the reason why School Cup is doing normal arena, normal games, is so
solos,
they can
yeah.
spectate.
Exactly.
Because it's such a big
Yeah.
price per tournament, they need to have, it costed. You
yeah,
know?
we like, to be
Boys
honest.
must reach out.
Yeah, to be honest, this should have happened from Epic long ago. But thank God we
Dude,
have
it's
someone.
tough. It's tough. Believe me, there's a lot of bureaucracy that goes behind the scenes when it comes down to getting these things formalized and set out.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. It's like I know I'm going to get tapped on the shoulder by a million people going, "How do you do this? How do you?" Unfortunately, we have to make sure that we're keeping that to ourselves at the moment
Yeah.
because we need to make sure that we're building this relationship with them. So
That's what it's all
once again,
about.
that is also an important step going forward in terms of having the conversation of going, what is our scene about? What are we doing locally? And also transversing that into going, where are we going from I know we all want the service discussion, but ultimately we need to make sure that we're having a discussion first.
Yeah.
So not just us going, give us service or whatever.
Yeah.
We need to actually have a dialogue.
I'm just saying,
right?
guys, if anyone can get a service, it's this man right here.
Definitely.
We'll see what we can do, man. We'll
He
see
got
what we
us our
can
This is-
first
this is
custom
the
games.
guy.
He's getting us our first spectators client, and he's gonna bring us service. I'm telling you.
Dude, he
I
brought.
know where he lives. If you want his address,
He
we can
basically
bombard
brought
it.
the biggest tournament
No,
to
don't
Call of
dox me.
Duty. Yeah, Nick basically brought the biggest tournament to Call of Duty, so he can do it for Fortnite as well. Knowing
I was there.
No pressure, I'd say.
No
Thanks,
pre-
eh?
yeah,
There's no,
no
pressure.
pressure.
But
Just-
this is, once again, guys, I mean, this is where we need your guys' support as well. But ultimately, I hope everything comes through. It's going to be the first time that we're going to be trying it out, so there might be some problems and issues and bugs. I still haven't played with it to this day.
Look
So,
at
but I
that
do
game,
think it's a cool opportunity of you getting into the tournament, and from that perspective, we can watch you play. If you're a person that makes it into the final circles, regardless of you being one of the main people that we constantly watch time and time again, we can now watch your POV, and we can
Yeah.
go to the final circle all the way to the end without having to worry about Hachi or Gogobi
Yeah,
dying.
of not having a stream at the end of it. Yeah, indeed.
Which
Nick,
is quite exciting. I
did
think
you
that's
see
quite
that of
cool.
Hachi? Did you see what
Yeah,
he showed?
Nick-
Look at that. He still has it.
Oh, my boy, look at that.
Look at that.
you still have your
OG
shirt.
Mag
That's the
Cup.
That's the OG, bro.
I still have the hoodie we wore. on stage.
Dude, that was one of the
Dude.
best logos. I
That's-
love
I
that
still
team
remember
name.
when we almost beat High Five and they were like the best of the best.
I swear that's quite a cool organization as well in terms of the name. I just thought it was so cool.
Nemesis.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So, but okay, as you now know, you need to go sign up and support ACGL. Otherwise, I want to use that. I want to use the COD term that I used, Bliksem. But we'll leave that on. But definitely go sign up, guys. A lot of things being done over at ACGL. Okay, Nick, I'm not gonna. These questions are definitely not for you. I don't want you to get DM saying, "Listen, yeah, groot man, why you messy? Why you tell me I'm cock?" So these questions aren't for you.
So I have no right to call anybody cuck because when I pick up the controller these days, it's full old man.
Yeah.
What are you
Okay.
talking about? You still have my favorite clip ever from a streamer.
Hey, what is that?
With your Wukong skin where you were dancing. We're doing one more, actually. We're doing one more.
That's his favorite.
I'll never
skin.
forget that.
That was
No way.
fun.
All right, Hachi, Bradley, Nate. Nate, you'll go last so I can give you more time to think about your question,
Hachi first,
your answers.
please.
But Hachi's going first.
Why?
Hachi's going
I don't
first.
know what to say. Like,
Hachi will go first, then Bradley, then
I'm
Nate.
already called toxic in the community.
But it's not that harsh, but you never know what your answer's going to be. First question. Name one player that really deserves being in a good org.
That isn't an
That
org.
isn't in an org. That deserves being in one.
To be honest, Aish, the person I would love to put in a really good org would probably be Travis. Just because I've known Travis a really long time.
Yeah.
I've seen Travis everywhere. I've seen Travis at like the first tournament that ACGL ever did, all the way to those gaming gatherings.
Yeah,
we've had
even
where
yeah. I
we've
just
had
wanted
so
to
many
say,
chats.
you comes to the MWeb gaming gatherings as well.
Yeah,
Just for
literally.
the
I've
free
known Travis
pizza
a very
and
long time.
Yeah, good
Mm.
luck.
So honestly, if I was to pick up anyone that I've seen really grinding and dedicated to the game,
Yeah.
it would be Travis, 100%.
All right, Bradley.
I was gonna say Travis.
You
As
agree
well.
with Travis?
Yeah.
That's why he wants me to go first. So
Yeah, so you can just say yeah, I agree. Nate and you,
I would say Woke or Travis.
Woke or Travis?
Woke is
Yeah.
Woke is actually good.
Pebble Zeta saying woke as well. I'm gonna read some of you guys out on the stream as you go out with the names. Then the next question is name 3 players that would do well in FNCS.
Obviously Neymar.
Yeah,
He was the only one to qual for last FNCS.
yeah.
Ish. With the format system, I was gonna say Trogans, but now it's kind of like a W key format. I'd say Kareem if he can get his internet stuff sorted.
Yeah.
Vodacom, come on, what are you doing?
What you doing?
Who else do I think can do really well? I think Jellies. I think I'll put Jellies there.
All right.
Jellies was really doing well in the last ME Cash Cup. He was insane. So tip my hat off to him. Jellies.
I think Skara for the previous question, Skara says woke. Of being in an org. Is woke not in an org, right?
I thought he was in a club.
Woke is free agent at the moment.
Yeah,
He was in
okay,
the
so
clubs.
That's one. You
His
can say
contract
that.
expired.
Bradley, then those 3 players for you. in
Anyone
FNCS.
that's on controller, like they can WP.
Okay, but
Okay. Oh,
No, yeah, but it was obviously Neymar. I'd say Hachi because he's done it before, so like
Yeah.
he knows how to
yeah.
Hey,
play it. And then I don't know. There's a lot of other good controller players, like maybe Zaki's, Jellies, yeah.
So, okay.
Kareem.
It just seems to me that the controller players are still king. If we're mentioning
Yeah.
just them. Nate, do you have the same outlook on those 3 players?
I'd say Neymar,
Mm,
Hachi, and Jellies. Because Hachi did quite well,
all right.
and Neymar did well, and Jellies was doing really well in that one Cash Cup.
I should have put myself in there because now I'm getting good ping. Before I played the quals on 210 ping and I made it. Now I'm on 125. Like, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
indeed.
Well, maybe actually rejects
Rejects.
because
Okay.
he just came ninth in the hype night at
Yeah.
least. So I mean,
Hmm.
rejects.
Maybe.
I didn't
Did
even
he
see
come
that.
ninth?
He posted it 1 minute ago. So
All right.
Nice.
Well, hopefully we can get one in there. Next question. Question number 3. Name one player that's a free 50 pot when it comes to ACGL tournaments.
Comes to ACGL tournaments.
Well, just
Any
tournaments in
ACGL
general.
admin that plays as a filler.
Hey,
Yeah. I think I almost killed Nick the one time, or I actually did.
Well, that's
But
definitely a
what-
350.
Probably put Mr. Holden there. Sorry.
Feels bad, man.
All right, but yeah, who's a 350 pot when it comes to tournaments?
I'd say Nate. Every time I come across this boy, I smack him.
Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're funny.
Damn.
I killed you the other day, the
Imagine.
last one.
Anytime
so I'd say
Anytime you
Oh,
do lucky.
I have the best answer.
Go for it.
Reepsy is my 350 pot.
Reeps.
Because I actually, because he has worse ping than me right now.
Yeah.
I actually stole his wall in the last tournament. He watched it like 12 times, probably had a nightmare about it too. So Reepsy's my 50 pot.
Okay, Bradley, you say Nate.
Definitely.
All
100%.
right, all right. Nate, who are you saying?
Go give it.
Oh,
I'm not baiting. I shit on him in the last tournament. I destroyed him.
I even knew. I'm reading some of DZ says Reepsy, Matthew says Bean, Fiona, Mr. Zink says Gogaby. Yeah.
She is quite free though, so
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
definitely.
All right.
Reefsy or go give it.
Okay. Name the easiest person to do wages against. Who's the easiest person to play wages against?
I don't do wages, so I can't answer this one.
All right. Bradley, I know you do wages.
The only people
Oh,
is like
I think
Clubs,
Bojo is the easiest. Bojo is my easiest.
I have.
Nate, whose money have you
Okay.
taken every single time?
No offense, but me, Gloves, and Luca, I think it was,
Yeah.
wagered Bradley, 8-man, and someone else. Yo,
I'm playing with bots. Like
they were free. They were free. I'm sorry,
Picking
they
up
were so
bots.
I mean, you
free.
mentioned 8-man, so
Yeah.
easy money.
Yeah. All right. Next one. And who would you say is the most enjoyable Fortnite streamer in ZA to watch? Who is the most enjoyable person for you personally to watch a Fortnite streamer though?
does it have to be competitive?
Nope.
God.
Ooh.
Just skip me. I'll be last.
All
I'll be
right,
last.
Bradley.
I say Aero. I
Era.
really love watching
Okay.
his streams. Yeah.
I like watching Lucas streams. I'm not baiting.
Yeah, okay. Archie.
It's very situational. Like my favorite rages would probably be Volts when he used to stream. I love watching Luca rages. I'll just click to a stream, watch him
Yeah,
rage,
I
click
love
off.
Watch him click
I like-
off.
I literally, someone will come to my stream, Luca rage touch. I'll go in there, I'll watch with my stream, we'll laugh, I'll click off, and we continue with our stream. So probably Luca.
Yeah.
But then content-wise, yeah, I'd probably say Aero or Hyper Hanks. I enjoy their streams.
I'm definitely going to, of all my choices, I think it's between Trogons. Trogons competitively is the most fun thing to watch because I just like the hype and the comms and the serious and how serious they are playing the game. And then obviously for Luca, I only watch Luca when he goes to Twitch. It's better there. But yeah, Luca and Trogons.
Goga Dead said Mel's Bells. Facts.
Facts. Who is he?
Facts. Who's he? She
She.
just started today. Facts.
All right. Next question here. This is question number 6. If Fortnite had to stop today, what other esports would you play? If Fortnite had to die today, which esports would you
Well,
go to?
I'm not going back to COD. The
Oh,
COD
damn it,
community is
Archie.
sad. The COD community is sad. I'm sorry. I'm not going back
Right
there.
now, it's not.
Hey,
Hey. Wait, yo,
Um,
whoa,
Come on,
whoa. Just saying it there. Wait, Nick, how many signups have you gotten for this tournament upcoming for COD?
21. I'm happy with that.
21 teams out of 5.
Yeah, a lot of content's going to be outflowing from that. So once again, just hopefully an opportunity with that community to put a spotlight on them as well.
Yeah,
They need it, man. They need it.
they definitely
I'd
do.
probably go Rainbow Six Siege.
Ooh, R6. Actually, a
Yeah,
good idea. I
I-
think they also,
Yeah.
with the servers they have now.
Before Fortnite, because it
R6
went
is
from
cool.
COD. Yeah, it went from COD to casual Fortnite. Then I played R6, and we were doing it like competitively with me and my mates, and we wanted to start up a team,
Yeah.
but then the scene just never happened. And as soon as I go to Fortnite, a year later, now Rainbow Six Siege has a scene.
Yeah.
So I would probably go back to Rainbow Six.
And Bradley?
Clash of Clans or something. I don't know.
Clash of
Royale.
Clans?
I'm goated at that game. Like
Mr.
yeah.
Zink saying go be professional horror game streamer.
No.
I must say, one thing that Rides has mentioned here is the GTA RP. And I think this is the funnest thing to watch ever. You can't stop laughing. at people
I love
making stupid shit up and like the voices and trying to be someone you're not, and it's really fun. But Nate, your answer for that one?
I'd probably try Warzone, but if I don't like enjoy Warzone, I would probably play
Yeah.
games for fun and not go competitive.
All right. I think for me personally, I'll probably say CS, just because I like the game and the community is quite cool and it is quite a big thing. Then next one is name one Fortnite player that you would watch if they did. Oh, name one Fortnite streamer in South Africa. Oh, no, let me reword this. Name one player in FortcastZA that you would like to stream, that you think would do a good job streaming.
I guess I'll say Neymar, just for the fact that I love
Yeah.
watching people take competitive seriously. I know
Seriously.
Neymar is someone that takes it very seriously,
Yeah.
and the only person I really watch that takes it seriously. It used to be Riot, but now it's Drogon. So I feel like more people like to watch that take it 100% seriously and are actually really good would be nice.
Yeah.
Can I want to butt in there.
Yeah.
One thing that I'd love to see a little bit more, and I don't know, to be honest, I don't have enough time to watch all the streamers. But I'd love to see people breaking down what they're thinking while they're playing a little bit more. Of going, hey, I'm rotating here, I'm moving in this position at the moment, we're looking at the circle there, so I know that I'm putting a pin over there because I've got a guaranteed rotation through here. Just to hear their own commentary of their own thought process, even if it's a post VOD of going, well, I was thinking I was going to go there, so, and I know that this player's got height advantage at the moment in terms of the kit that I'm utilizing. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I love the learning discussion of why are you doing this, because I've got to do commentary sometimes and I don't know why people are making these micro decisions, and to be honest, that's even in most competitive titles, those micro decisions are the most interesting thing, that when it comes down to a competitive player and why they're separating themselves amongst the herd, is that they're making these small decisions like, I'm not going to push right now because if I had to do that, he has to expend these amount of or whatever it might be in terms of mats or usage. I love that. So I'm just saying, in terms of seeing from a streamer, I'd love to see like Monday educational stream. So we're going to be breaking down VODs and going through that kind of stuff. I would love to see that a little bit more.
The problem is, Nick, a lot of people now, the big competitive players, are moving to coaching. So we sort of save that for coaching.
Yeah.
Same as me. Like I used to do those sort of breakdown things. I know I'm not the best player in the world, but I think like up there with knowledge makes up for my bad mechanics. So I like to think about those things too. And I used to talk about them a lot, but now I'm like, I'll save it for coaching.
Okay. All right. Where people actually pay you for your information.
Exactly. I used to give like computer tech tips all the time. Then I realized it's my job to do it. So now I'm giving away like, free intel. So it's the same thing with coaching now. You're giving away free intel. So
that raises the scene so much. Honestly, it's like if you're almost telling people what your tips are or your secrets are, essentially, yes, you're giving them a free education, but ultimately you're increasing the tier of where we are as a competitive community.
Of course, but then you give away your secrets and then you do less well on tournaments because now everyone's doing well.
Let's be honest, that there's such low tiered tips that you could probably give away that they just won't know as that player, and it doesn't influence your game because everybody on the top level knows that already. And for me, I know once again from a competitive standpoint, it alludes to games where there was different running types that you would have with weapons and jumping up on ladders to be able to stall and get your weapon up quicker. There's certain things that the better players would know immediately, but there's just an average player going, why is he doing this? And I'd love to see that a little bit more.
I think that would be quite nice to see. Just point of view of everyone saying, listen here, I think this is what went through my mind. I think it would have been a cool one. Bradley, still coming to you for this question. Who would you would like to see streaming?
Probably going to say Neymar as well. Like if like a player could qualify for Middle East and stream it, like I don't expect him to, but that would be like great. And I know Neymar probably going to do it again. So
all right, Nathan, for you,
same Neymar.
Right.
I'd really like to watch him play.
Everyone wants him to play. He has probably the best PC out of anyone in the community. I don't know what he's waiting for. If it's chat, like Nick will read your chat for you in your ear. Just
welcome to your chat.
Welcome to your chat. Yeah. No, but other names that I think go hand to hand. I think I would like to see Scaro stream. I think it would be nice to see what he can do. Woke would also be a nice one to maybe see on stream.
He does stream.
Or streams now and then.
Now and then.
Yeah.
But I
He
mean,
streams,
daily
yeah,
would be quite nice to see. Then next one, give one element that your trio partner needs to improve on.
I don't have a choice.
Only
Actually,
one.
I think you know the answer.
Only one.
Yeah, okay.
Come on,
Actually,
Dallas.
give one thing that Brady really needs to improve on.
Me?
Each trio or
Well,
like each person in the trio?
Yeah, each person in that trio.
To be honest, I feel like Brad just gets a little bit too close when we're fighting. So a lot of times he opens himself up to being boxed like a fish by players. So he'll go for like a wall steal while Bojo and I are like 4 boxes away spraying. And then they'll run out at him, one pump him, and then the fight's one-sided. When it comes to Bojo, he needs to just not peek anyone with a sniper. I don't care who it is. Even a henchman does.
Yeah,
Like a marauder would literally no-scope Bojo to his death in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
So whenever he sees a sniper, he must just sit back, relax, don't peek your head. Like, yeah. So.
Indeed.
And if it's me, it's probably like my mechanics. Shame. I
You
try,
just
but
give it
like
yourself,
it's
yeah.
really bad. I can't get myself out of fights or take walls. I just hit people hard with pumps.
Yeah. Just before we go on, again, quickly, thank you for Chubbs. Chubbs, I saw that donation come in, $10 from Chubbs, saying, "How's it, Dallas? Good to see you in stream, Chubbs Z." I actually also another guy with the streamers with a scrim for what a skin scrim for a skin. It's also quite nice to watch people coming on to win some skins for Fortnite, and then eventually people do sell their accounts, and you never know. Maybe you can get some nice cash for those. I know a lot of people that do sell their accounts. I don't know even that if it's
That's
legal.
TOS, you can't say that, Dallas.
Exactly. I don't care. I didn't give names. I didn't give names.
True.
Then Bradley, what would you say your trio partners needs to improve on?
So I was gonna say, actually already said it, but his mechanics.
Yeah.
And maybe your long range aim. Now that you changed to linear,
Yeah.
because like I spectate you and you like miss everything.
I make
maybe
up
that.
with my close range, so but
okay.
I don't know, guys. Someone with the god sense on linear, please help me out. On Expo, I hit everything. On linear, I can't hit anything. So
Bradley and your other trio, your other player.
Bojo probably sniping as well. Like yes, he literally, I'm pretty sure he gets sniped once a game. Like it's bad.
So he's
when he's
positioning, you would say.
Just hide when you see a
Yeah.
sniper.
Yeah.
Me and Hachi will try fight him. Bad.
Okay.
and yourself.
And yourself, what do you say about yourself?
No, I'm the best player ever.
Anyway,
To be honest, I don't know what's
I'm joking, man.
No.
Okay. What Bradley? What do you think Nate should work on?
yeah, you teamed with him.
You teamed with him.
Nothing. I'm best. Yes, sir.
maybe game sense a bit, better game sense, and like I don't know, his motivation to play, like, and then you'd be the best. I promise you.
Yeah.
Nate is really good. Just maybe his motivation to like grind, and then game sense, and you'll be good.
All
Or
right.
like really.
Nate,
Yeah, what is that back then?
Nate,
No,
I'm
it's God.
yeah, Nate, you're a god. Okay, I'll leave you. You don't have to answer this. Saying that you don't have your trio right now, so I'm not gonna let you answer that one. Then, who's the best player in Punisher?
Let's play in Punishers.
Yeah, best player in the Punishers.
Definitely not Roopsy. He
Yes.
told me to say it's him, so I'm snitching right now. So I would be lying. Best
He's
play
not
in
the worst.
Punishers.
Who do you think is the most consistent winningest player in Punishers?
Okay, this is just facts.
Yeah.
It used to be me, and now it's Hachi. Like
Okay.
we have
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
system to
Chat,
check.
who do you guys think is the best in Punishers?
So we have like a team leaderboard thing that we do. So every
Yeah.
time we place in a tournament, we submit our results there, and depending on your placement, you get points like towards the leaderboard. So at the moment, I'm currently leading, so I guess that means me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
last time it was Brad, and then Nate, and then me. This
Oh.
time it's me, and then I don't know who's second or
Me.
third. Then Brad. Yeah, so
All right. And Nate, are you now third?
Also, actually,
Yeah. But on that leaderboard, are you third now?
I actually
no, I
want
don't
to.
think so. I think
Actually
it's
want to check. I
after
don't know.
it's Hachi, Gogi, Bojo, me, because Bojo gets carried over.
Yes.
Currently, it's currently me, and then Bojo, then Brad, then Nate. Yeah.
Okay.
Because so your trio places way more. I don't have a trio,
Yeah.
so we
A
don't
lot of
place.
people in chat saying Reepsy. Reepsy himself is saying Reepsy.
Well, Richie's in sixth, so and he plays everything. So
Oh
no
no!
excuses.
Oh no! All right, we're coming to the last question, and it's always one of the best questions. And I'm going to ask you guys to rate the following players from best to worst.
And yes,
And if you want to write this down, the following 4 players you need to say from best to worst. Sorry, categorize them as Kareem, Skara, Travis, and Psycho. And chat, you guys can get involved here. Rate
Best
that
to
4
worst.
players from best to worst, and they are
Just
again
Kareem, Skara, and Travis.
Kareem,
And
Skara,
I put it in our
Travis,
Discord chat.
and Psycho.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is quite a difficult one. I wanted to make it difficult. To see
I'm gonna
what you guys think.
put. Ish. I'm gonna put Psycho last, just
Okay.
because I haven't really seen him play much, because he's
Yeah.
focusing more on like Middle East and FNCS. So I'll put
Okay.
him there last. I don't think he'll get offended with that.
Yeah.
My problem is like I don't know where to put like. I don't know. I put Skara first. So I'd put Skara as the best at the moment between them, just because Travis has like prelims and stuff coming up, so he's not playing that much.
Yeah.
Also, he's been losing the drop at caddy, so he hasn't been placing well because of that. So I'd put Skara. Then I don't know. Kareem's also like slowed down a little. The
Yeah.
trio is really good, but him as a solo, like I don't know. I'd probably put Skara, Kareem, Travis, Psycho.
Skara, Kareem, Travis,
same.
Psycho. Nate, you say you've got the same there? With
Yeah.
with
I'd say Skara, Kareem.
Travis,
Travis,
Psycho. Bradley, something different?
Yeah, I would say Scar, Travis, Kareem, Psycho.
Oh, you put Travis first.
Okay, so
And
you know you
second.
have Travis second. I think there's a lot of Casey saying Skara, Travis, Kareem, Psycho. Then Izzy saying Kareem, Psycho, Skara, Travis.
I don't know, like they also
But
like
the
close.
placements, I don't know.
Yeah, Hannes is
It's
saying
very
Skara,
close,
Travis,
yeah.
Psycho, Kareem.
Thing is, Kareem's trio's won the most so far this season.
Yeah.
Then it's Skara and his trio. Then it's I think Travis and his trio. So, but then
Yeah.
with solos, Travis doesn't play solos. Like Kareem has like fallen off a bit with his solos.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very hard. It's honestly very
it
hard.
is very difficult. Aero also saying Travis, Kareem, Skara, Psycho. And Vitro saying Travis, Psycho, Skara, Kareem. So obviously it's very difficult to pick between these 4 players. They are very, very good in their own regards. But yeah, I think that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, damn.
Ooh.
I need a drink. And I need a drink.
There was nothing crazy this time
No,
around.
I didn't.
No biggest ego that doesn't
no,
deserve it.
I didn't.
I was throwing questions, you know. Hey, I had
You
my
can.
list.
Oh, yeah, Hutch, the floor is yours. If you really
No, I was
want to.
kidding. I was kidding.
No,
I was kidding.
no, guys, I didn't want to go too deep with the storm search questions. Maybe for the future episode we can, and I can maybe ask the Fortnite community to write them up themselves. But you never know what might come out of those.
Yes.
But Nick, solely just for you, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you being here. It's basically been 2 hours of your time that you put off towards the side for us, and I really appreciate you being here.
Thanks, man. Thanks to everybody. It was a lucky conversation, and I'm looking forward to what we're got coming in the next few weeks.
Yeah, can't wait.
But also, Fortnite, everyone shot for tuning in. Love that this community is vibrant, energetic, and keen for more.
Yeah, great to see. And then to the Punishers, Hachi, Bradley, Nate, all 3 of you, thank you very much for being here. You guys are always welcome to get on these episodes, and love seeing you guys stream. Keep going at it. Hachi, hopefully we can get a win there from your side for a bit, you know. I want to see Hachi at the top.
Oof.
Not happening.
Wouldn't we all, Dallas? But yeah.
Not happening. All right. But again, quickly, just for that donation from the Punishers themselves, thank you very much for the donation as well. Appreciate the donation. And then to everyone in stream, especially to you guys, they all 81, 82 of you guys, thank you very much for being here. And until next time, it's going to be just a quick announcement. Next episode will be a community episode. So you guys have to pick who comes on to the FortcastZA to chat about everything. And a tweet about that will come out later this week. But thank you very much for everyone being here. And we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.